What if you could turn your passion for helping others into a career that changes lives, starting with your own? Join Empower's Certified Professional Empower Coach Academy, accredited by the ICF and powered by Oregon State University. Our next cohort begins February 28th. Visit yesempower.com to reserve your spot today.
Welcome to Rewired. I'm your host, Tiffany Grimes with Empower Coaching and Training. Today's guest, Melonie Gore, is a certified Rapid Transformational Hypnotherapist and confidence coach. She helps women overcome codependency, rebuild self-worth, create lasting self-belief, and uses a blend of neuroscience, hypnotherapy, and practical transformation to really help guide clients to reprogram limiting beliefs and step into genuine confidence. She does this virtually, which is even more thrilling and exciting to learn about and talk about. Please join me in welcoming today's guest, Melonie Gore. Melonie, I'm so glad that you're here and that we get to talk. I have been hypnotherapy curious for a long time, many moons, but really don't have experience with it or knowledge of it. So I'm excited for this conversation today. And so just to kind of get us started, I'm curious for listeners who aren't familiar and for their host who is not familiar, can you start by describing what hypnotherapy actually is and how it differs from what people kind of picture when they think of hypnosis? I think of, the many videos we've seen where people are putting a watch and putting people to sleep, or they're saying bark like a dog, or people have no control. And so kind of help us settle into, Melonie, what is hypnotherapy?
So basically, hypnotherapy, well, the things that you mentioned, like with the watch and so on, that's entertainment. Hypnotherapy is just basically a gentle, focused way of relaxing and allowing your mind to be more open, basically, in a nutshell. So I don't take over a person's mind. I have a lot of people who come to me who think that they're going to be out of control. And they're not. You're always in control of a session.
Okay.
If you wanted to stop a session, you can. You just stop. Can I tell a brief story about when I first?
Oh, I would love it. We love stories around here. Yes.
Okay. So it was 30-something years ago, and my parents were coming to visit me, and I was smoking at the time, and they didn't know I smoked. So somebody said to me, do hypnosis. And I went, okay, fine. I can't think what else to do, so I'm going to do hypnosis. And I went to this woman's office, and my knowledge, she didn't explain to me that it wasn't like you see on the stage shows. So in this session, I'm on the couch, she's doing her thing, and I'm in my head as she's talking going, well, this is a waste of time. This is a waste of money. I can't believe I did this. What a waste of time.
Where's the watch? Where's the...
All of it. Why am I not in a trance? Why am I feeling like I am fully present? And I left that session and never smoked again.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's
wow. It's happening and you didn't even really know that it was happening.
Yes.
Fascinating.
And what I've come to understand is that if you have a desire to change a behavior, like if I say to people on a scale of 1 to 10, if you're at an 8, 9, or 10, you want to change a certain behavior, hypnosis is going to be effective.
Okay.
If you come in to see me and you go, I'm a 4, I'm going to say, save your money. Come back when you're ready.
Yeah.
Right? Because yes, I can make money, but that's not the point to me. I want people to feel successful and be successful. So I always explain, you're just going to feel relaxed. That's it. And it just, in that relaxation, your mind is opening and you're listening to me. So the chatter that people have going on in their brains all the time, that goes away basically, and you're focused on what I'm saying, right? So it's that process that allows you to be more open to these changes going in. So that's hypnosis generally.
Yeah. Okay. It's so helpful just to start with that idea, and I'm sure you maybe hear it all the time, is that there is this sense of I will be out of control.
Yes.
And that really what we see is what the media shows us, and that to add that word entertainment to it, I think
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
really, really
I
meaningful.
mean, I think there are those times when people can go into that deeper trance, but I personally have not seen it happen,
Okay.
and it's definitely not what happens with me. But you can come into a session and go, I didn't feel hypnotized. You will find, because I create a recording, you will find that the more you listen, the quicker you'll go into that place, right? It's basically hypnosis is like, when you're reading a great book and you kind of zone out as you're reading it, right?
Right.
Or if you're driving and you're like, oh, wait, did I stop at that stop sign? You've just zoned. That's
Yes.
hypnosis.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very simple thing
Like
that we
that
do all the
literally is
time.
hypnosis. That is the
Yes.
state of hypnosis.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just purposefully get a client into that state.
Yes.
And then, well, so tell me, boy, that leaves me, it's a great answer, and it leaves me with 1,000 other questions.
Yeah. Of course.
So then what is happening? Like, let's start with from a brain-based perspective, what is happening neurologically during this hypnotherapy session, when the brain is quieted, like you're talking. So if I can do it
Yeah.
to myself, which I do all the time in a podcast, and I
Right.
drive up, I live in Oregon, I drive from Southern Oregon up to Eugene, and I'm like, wow, I don't remember going over this
Right.
pass or doing this other thing.
Yeah.
So what's happening neurologically during that time? And then how does being in that state support change?
Okay. So I actually looked this up to get all the technical words, blah, blah, blah,
Great.
and realized that's not me. So
Nobody's going
I'll
to
put it
understand it.
in really simple terms.
Yes.
There's the busy part of your mind, the part that overthinks, the part that's criticizing all the time, all the negative. That inner chatter quiets down,
Okay.
right? Then you become much more open to these new ideas that you want for yourself. Say, for example, you dealing with anxiety or a lack of confidence. That chatter part that's telling you, I'm no good, I'm worthless, blah, 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 quiets down. The other part then opens up. The part of your brain will then open up to be more receptive to receiving these new messages that are going in. What you basically want at the end of the day is to have the new messages become subconscious, so they're automatic, right? So there's this repetition that, when somebody does a session with me, I make a recording. That's the first part of the repetition. But then I also want people to continually repeat to themselves what it is they want for themselves, right? So I grew up, so a little backstory. I grew up feeling like I didn't fit in. I didn't belong, right? What's wrong with me? Everybody says I'm this and this and this and to this and to this. I was just tested recently and found out I'm on the spectrum. So for me, that was just this, oh, what a beautiful moment. Now I can understand myself and accept myself, right? But a lot of people grow up with this feeling of, I'm not good enough. I don't fit in. What's wrong with me? Those are the messages that they get given as children over and over and over again. So this
And then we own
hypnosis,
them. They become our messaging,
yes,
right? So somebody's
that's
saying,
our
what's wrong with you?
subconscious.
Pretty soon that person's gone and we're repeating, what's wrong with me? What's
Yes,
wrong with me? Yeah.
yeah, we're doing it for ourselves at that point. So it's, when people come to me, it's not just hypnosis. I do hypnotherapy. So I want to get to the core reason why they feel the way they do, right? Because then if they understand, oh, wait, that really wasn't about me. That's not that, right? That's not me. Then you can start to change. So in this quiet place that your mind goes to, you can then start putting in the new messages of, I feel good about myself. I feel confident. I feel relaxed. I feel calm. All these things,
Yeah.
right? So I don't have the technical words for you because it's genuinely not who I am. I would literally be reading off a piece of paper.
Right.
And
Yes.
I don't think most people operate on that level. They just want it to feel real, attainable, right? So there are all sorts of things happening in your mind. But if you want the technical, look it up. But it's not going to make a difference if you have a belief as to how you want to change.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. It makes me think of the universal default resting state. That's what I think. When you say that chatter, I think it's that same place that we're using mindfulness and meditation work to also quiet and to, resculpt.
So if you're in that mindful place, right, where you're quieting the chatter down, because a lot of people say to me, well, I can't meditate, because they think it's this place that you get to where you don't have thoughts. And I don't think it is for most people. You might be in meditation and go, oh, I still need to do the dishes and I need to pick that up at the store tomorrow. But then you come back to that quiet place again, right? Yeah. The same thing can happen in hypnosis, where you think about, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. But wait a minute, let me stay in this moment. I think especially in the world we're in today, where everything is immediate on the phones, it's just, we don't stop to go, I'll think about that in 5 minutes, because we're afraid we're going to forget it. We're so conditioned, we forget in minutes.
Yeah.
So, there's this place that you can be, this peaceful place you can find that can help you just be okay with who you are.
Yeah.
Right? And, even, today I might have a negative thought about what somebody might think about me. And I go, they can think what they want. They're entitled to their thoughts. It doesn't affect me anymore. Yeah. Whereas before you could look at me across a room and I go, oh, what have I done wrong? What have I done? Do I look weird? It's just endless.
Yeah.
So the main part of what I do for people is, there's a lot of codependency, so a lot of lack of confidence in people, that I want them to understand they are absolutely awesome the way they are. If there's things they need to work on, they can do it, but it doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I really answered your question there, but
you did. And it makes me think of, I think you said something really important. I mean, you said a lot of really important things, but one particular thing, you said more than one important thing, but one I hung on to is this idea that people have, whether it's through hypnotherapy or through mindfulness, whatever it is, that I'm not doing it right. And B, my brain is so busy. And so that's evidence that I'm not doing it right. And it's really, it isn't about not thinking. We're not capable of doing that. It's being present with our thoughts. And then as you're describing it, that it's really this, then I'm observing it and I'm having a relationship with it rather than it deciding. So this person looks at me across the room and my brain goes, oh, this something must be wrong with me. It reinforces my own messaging. And I'm often running mentally around, who they are, who I am, how the world works. And mindfulness is that may still very much occur. So I still feel that what's wrong with me, but then I catch myself thinking what's wrong with me, and I breathe and I think, there's nothing wrong with me. And what else might be true about this person looking across the room and recreating that situation.
Maybe they think I look good, but we tend to go to the negative.
They're keen on me, actually. Yeah. So
we go to this negative place.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, that negativity bias leads the way for sure. And so how do you do this? Guide me through, obviously not guide me through a session. I'm not going to take advantage of it. I'll come see you separately, but walk us through, how do you get somebody into this state? Because you also do this virtually, which blew my mind when you had told me that when we had talked previously. And so, walk me through a typical session. What would a person expect during their first, and you said you had one session and you stopped smoking. So maybe part of it is how many sessions would would a person typically think about? So give me those.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Ready to make a real difference? Become a certified professional coach with Empower Coaching and Training. Our next CPEC cohort Accredited by the International Coaching Federation and offered in partnership with Oregon State University, starts February 28th. Spots are limited. Learn more at yesempower.com.
So I offer a free consultation every time for any session. In that consultation, I'm going to get all the information I need from you to be able to create a recording specifically for you, right? So in terms of hypnotherapy, I offer two. I offer stop smoking. That's just one on its own, generally one session. Okay. I offer the rest of them. It could be anything. It could be confidence, self-esteem, anxiety, depression, all those areas, any area. So for that, I offer a session where I make this recording for you. We do a lot of work in there. And then I'm going to follow up once a week while you're listening to that recording for 3 weeks. I'm going to follow up with you to make sure everything is on track.
Okay.
Right? Because I've found quite often somebody might come in for the first session, first check-in and say, I don't know if anything's changed. And when I go through what they came in to see, they're like, oh, yeah, I did do that. I did do that. People focus on the negative.
Right.
And it's training this brain again.
Yes.
So in the session itself, you come in, you're in your own place. So that's one of the things about virtual that people like. They can be in their own home. They haven't got to leave the house and deal with traffic and people. They can be in their own home where they're warm, they're cozy. They might have their cat with them, their dog with them. They just need to be somewhere private where they're not going to be disturbed and have a good internet connection.
Okay.
Right? As long as, like in the consultation, I'll say to somebody, they have to feel like I get them because we're working together on this. So if it's rare that somebody doesn't like me, but let's just say somebody goes, I don't think you're feeling me. They don't have to do a session. They're off on their own at that point.
Okay.
So when you come into a session, I basically will put you into hypnosis. For me, I'll walk you down some stairs, just relaxation of the mind, going into a deeper level of quiet, right? During the session itself, we do a lot of work. So I dig hard in these sessions. And a lot of people will come out at the end going, I had no idea that's how deep we were going to go. But in this session, I will do some parts work, some inner child work, for example. I find that magical in making a change in people's lives. And like I said, I make this recording all about the changes that you want. So whatever it is you want in that session, I want to sleep better or more confidence, feeling good about yourself. After the session, it brings you out and then you go off. And I personally like people to listen to their recording at least twice a day, morning and night. The recordings are short, could be, 12 to 15 minutes. So it's easy to fit into your day because some people, I think, have the impression it might be, 30, 45 minutes.
Right.
Wow. Simple. Yep. The only time you can't really listen is driving or operating machinery. That's it.
Sure.
The rest of the time you can listen. So if somebody wants to listen 10 times a day, they can.
They can. And the recording, I may have missed this. The recording is of the session, or are you, when you say you're making a recording, are you doing something separately?
So when the session starts and I'm putting you into hypnosis, I record that part. Then I stop the recording. Whatever you say in a session is private. That doesn't get recorded at all. Okay. And then at the end, when we're finished with the session, I will do the rest of the recording while you're still in hypnosis. So you're hearing it. And then that's what you get at the end to listen to.
Okay.
I mean, the reason I got into hypnotherapy was I read a book by Marissa Peer, who is the founder of RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy. And just reading this book, I said to myself, I have to learn this because it was life-changing for me, right? So going through the program and learning was just, like I say, it's life-changing. I completely changed my life based on what I read in this book. Wow. And that is the belief I hold. And it just keeps getting proven to me time and time again.
Yeah.
And like I said, if somebody's not committed to that change, I don't take them as a client because I don't want to waste their time or their money, and so I'm very, very genuine with people. I'll say if I can't help you, or if I don't think that's within my scope, I will say so.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just very
so I
real.
guess that's my next question. And you kind of spoke to this a little bit, like this a scale. If you're a 8, 9, 10 and you're really ready for change, they
Yeah.
make a good candidate. How do you gauge and how do you encourage other people to gauge their readiness for a tool like this? What makes an ideal candidate for this kind of therapy?
I think a lot of times for me, it's just intuition, being able to read a person, being able to ask the right kind of question that gets them to be more open. Like I said, in sessions, I will deal with the inner child, and a lot of people never think about that part of themselves. And I think
When
when
you
you
say
start,
inner child, what do you mean?
like I said earlier, a lot of people grow up feeling I'm worthless, I'm just not good enough, right? So I take them back in a session to that as they are today, as the adult, going back into a scene in their life with that child that they were. And I have them be with that child, bring that child into today so that they're present with the child today. Because if I'm, let's say somebody looks at me funny and I feel like, oh, they're judging me. That's the inner child in me feeling that. Right. So as the adult, I can tell her, no, I got you. You're safe. They're entitled to their judgments. You're safe with me. It's good.
Wow.
Right.
And
So it's
these the statements that when you say we're kind of replacing I'm not okay with I'm okay. Is a client creating those statements in session, almost like through this work of how they're talking to the inner child?
no.
Okay.
Those statements, whatever they want in the recording, we will discuss in the consult. So I will say to them, what do you hope to get from this session? How do you want to feel after this session? What are the emotions you want to feel? And I'll have a whole list of words that they want for themselves.
Yeah.
For some people, it's 2 or 3 things. For some people, it's a page long. But I will incorporate that into a recording so that it's personal to them, right? So that's where those words come from.
Okay.
There are people who can do this off the cuff. That is, it's not me. I like to be very precise in my recordings because you've got neuro-linguistic programming happening. For example, I don't want to say just because just can feel minor or insignificant,
Yes.
right? So I'm very careful with my wording in my recordings. It has to be positive. It has to be in the direction you want to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
because
different
you're
for everyone.
rewiring. You think about
Yeah.
an electrician going in and doing some
Yeah.
rewiring in the house. You don't want it to just kind of work. You want to nail it. You want to go in.
Right. So in terms of, neuroplasticity, when you're in that calmer state, it opens up this space to grow, if you like. I see it as like using my hands like people can see me, but like growing new avenues off this road that you've been traveling. And that's where the repetition and the recording comes in because it's reinforcing all the time. So, people would.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Ready to level up how you lead at work and at home? Empower Coaching and Training brings brain-based coaching, mindfulness tools, and real-world strategies you can share with those you serve and live with. Get started now. Visit us at yesempower.com.
Think negative thoughts, I suck. And wait a minute, I don't suck.
Right.
I got this. I can do better. I'll do better next time. So it's you do have to. Some people think it's like a magic wand where you don't have to put work in afterwards. You do, but it's easier afterwards because you've got a different understanding of where you're coming from.
Yeah.
right? So instead of putting yourself down, you're lifting yourself up going forward.
Mm,
And that's across the board, whether you're smoking or, whatever it is you want to stop, you want to feel good about yourself, right?
absolutely.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is you're dealing with, anxiety, anything, you want to feel good. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I got this.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think about the difference of, I mean, the why behind why we want to stop smoking. It's probably not that we just want to stop. It's that we want to feel good. And maybe we
Right,
have health goals and wellness goals
right.
and life
Yeah.
goals that we want to live
Yes.
in, or why we
All
want
of
to
that.
sleep well. It's not just about sleeping. It's like
Yes.
what the creativity I can have during the day. And
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. All of that. I mean, I love this. 'Cause I have a lot of people who come to me, for example, who have been in therapy for a long period of time. And they're like, I'm just not getting anywhere. We keep talking about the same things. And they're frustrated. I don't want to hold on to a client for a long period of time. I offer coaching as well. So if somebody needs to check back in 6 months or a year down the line, they can. But I want you to feel like, oh, this is a shift. This is a change.
Yeah.
I've got this,
Yeah.
right? Like they get to a deeper understanding versus every week talking about, well, this happened this week and da 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 da. And they have this repetition. It's like, I don't want to necessarily focus on what was. Once we deal with that part, I want you to let that part go and start to deal with what is now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Mm.
me.
So you mentioned a few things. You've mentioned anxiety, you've mentioned sleep, you mentioned
Yeah.
smoking. What are you seeing a lot of in your practice? And what, I guess, do you want to see more of in your practice in terms of what people are coming for?
So I
And
deal with,
about trauma. Is this
yeah,
a tool for trauma? So,
yeah. So let's start with that one first. It can be a tool for trauma, depending on the trauma. I won't work with people with severe mental illness, for example. That needs to be handled differently.
yeah.
I would say the majority of people I see dealing with a lack of confidence, number one,
Mhm.
anxiety, because I think that comes from a lack of confidence. Depression, again, comes from a lack of confidence in yourself a lot of times, not that feeling of I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. So I deal with a lot of people with codependency issues, for example.
Okay.
And I deal with a lot of smoking people, but the clients that I really, really want to get more of all the time are the codependent people who think they're not good enough.
Mhm.
Because I think that can impact so many other people. So, for example, if you're a codependent, you've got this lack of self. And let's say you're in a relationship and you've got children, for example, you're going to allow treatment, how you're treated in this relationship. And it's not going to be good. Generally, as a codependent, you're going to take a lot of abuse, whether it's verbal, physical, and so on. And I want kids to know that is not okay. And when you come from a place of confidence, of going, wait a minute, you can't treat me that way, I will not tolerate this anymore, out, your kids get to see that. Number one, boys get to see you can't treat women like that, and girls get to see, no, I'm worth more, right? But if you're not in a place where you can stand up for yourself or stand for yourself, then that's what they're witnessing, and they're going to think that that's acceptable. And
Yeah.
I really want to affect more of those. This is the place I came from, this codependency place of I've got to please everybody. And the last person I was pleasing was myself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what I want for people to feel that empowerment to go, I'm worth more than what you're offering right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And my kids are seeing it,
Oh,
right? It's the
yeah.
next generation and the next
Generational. Yeah.
generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm curious as you say that, how many people come through the doors presenting sleeplessness or smoking or here's this thing, but then as you
Yeah.
start doing that deeper
Yeah.
dig that it really is embedded in codependency or lack of
Yeah.
self-confidence.
Majority.
Yeah.
Majority. It's like you ask a smoker, why did you start? Well, I wanted to fit in,
Yeah.
right? That's the most answer. The one answer I get the most is I felt like I could fit in finally. I
Mm,
belonged in a group,
yeah.
right? And I think, this feeling of lack of worth, if I could change the world, I would, because I think, to feel this empowerment place is just, it's magical to me, because you're not looking outside of yourself for anything to fill you up at that point. You're filling yourself up,
Yeah.
right? You're good enough. That's the peace I have today that we were talking about earlier. It's like that's the peace I carry today. I don't need to be filled from the outside, right?
Mm,
And it's like I can be places now and go, I want to go home. And I go home. I don't worry about whether that looks wrong to people. I'm going to
right.
go home,
Yeah.
right? So it's standing for yourself. So I would say, honestly, most times it's anything you feel, the anxiety, the depression, the lack of confidence, it comes from your childhood and how you were treated, how you were spoken to. Like I said, I was recently tested ADD. I'm on both sides of the spectrum of ADDs, where I can be this person who just will fall asleep if I'm bored, or I can be supremely focused on other things, like my work. And I was also diagnosed as neurodivergent. So I look back at my childhood now, and it makes more sense, because
Right.
I think
Whole
my parents,
other lens.
yes, my parents had no clue how to handle me. So their only response was be quiet, go away,
Mhm.
only come and be seen when we want to see you, kind of thing. So it's like this shame of I'm no good, I'm worthless. That ruled the majority of my life for, 30, 40 years, to feel that way, right? So that's, if I can get somebody who's 20 or 25, I mean, it's magical,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I find it really exciting, because you see people, I'll even see a change in a session where their face changes and you realize they've got it. They've got it. This change is happening, and
yeah.
it's the start of something new. And it's just, it's the best, absolutely the best feeling in the world, right? And
Uh,
especially to think that you can get somebody there in such a short period of time.
that's what floors me. I
Yes.
can't believe it's in such a
Yeah.
short amount of time. And
Yeah.
it's the power of the brain, and to
Yeah.
go in and to be open and to rewire and to do this work,
Yeah.
and to know that while we're thinking about, wouldn't it be great to catch this at a younger age? Also knowing neuroplasticity is a lifetime. We don't age out of this ability to go, I want to do this differently. I want to have this last season, this last chapter,
Yeah.
um, to be,
Always evolving.
yeah,
I think, some that expression, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You absolutely can. You absolutely
absolutely.
can,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. And
yeah.
it's so no matter what age, and like I just want to clarify something, because I said about people who do therapy for eons and then they come to me and want this change. I also see that step of people going to therapy positive, because I don't think, even if you can go back to your childhood, it's not really a negative. It's life lessons that get you to where you're at today. Like, if I hadn't have gone through what I went through, I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel every single step gets you to where you're at, and where you choose to be from now is up to you. But you can choose a whole different way of being.
Yeah.
So I even think the negatives are positive.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
who I am. But it's I mean, I think you can tell from my excitement. I love what I do. I
I
really do.
bet. Now,
Yeah.
how long have you been doing this? How long have you been?
So I've been doing this now 6 years.
Okay. And have
Yeah.
you done it virtually from day one?
Day one. Because I started during COVID, basically.
Okay.
Right.
Had
And I
to.
think, yeah, that's where they really found that the results were the same,
Yeah.
if not better, because people are more relaxed being at home.
Right.
Right. So COVID, again, it's a negative, but it did me a favor.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's all about the connection that you have and the direction you want to go.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So, here we are. I mean, you obviously are a, believer. I'm so curious and interested and can think of already. I'm like, oh, I want to tell my mom about it and I want to do this. It's profound. It's such an amazing tool. And there's a ton of skepticism, and media, of course, feeds that. But I'm curious, how does current research support the work that you're doing about its effectiveness and where it fits in with evidence-based practices and so forth?
So again, there's a lot of different research out there. I know now doctors are sending patients with, say, IBS, right? They're sending those people because if you're calmer, your stomach's going to be calmer, right? But I also, again, IBS comes from a place of anxiety. So let's get to the root cause of it. It's not just
IBS, irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes.
Yep.
Any kind of stomach issue generally stems from something anxiety driven, right? So again, that's easy to deal with. So I do have doctors sending patients my way now. I have doctors sending, anorexic patients. I have therapists now sending clients. Yeah, deal with physical pain in your body with hypnotherapy as well. Again, it's the power of your mind, right? So yes, there are skeptics out there. There's always going to be people who, poo-poo things, but I don't worry about those people.
Yeah.
Right? Because the proof is happening right in front of my face.
Yep.
You can always find somebody being negative.
Yeah. And so the more I'm leaning into this, the more I'm wondering, can I have more than one issue? Can I have pain and sleeplessness and be a smoker and come and really still expect to have one session?
Yeah. So one session in those terms, no. Like if you came to me and you had depression, anxiety, yes, I can work on those things together. If you came to me and said, I have depression and I want to stop smoking, they're two separate things. I can't combine them.
Okay.
So that would require 2 sessions. Okay. But generally, if you're dealing with with depression, for example, you're going to feel an enormous difference in one session. Sometimes more. I hear people who run packages of 6 sessions and I feel I'm being judgy, that they're money grabbing, honestly. So that's where I come from. I had somebody who came to me to stop smoking recently, and I charged $265 for that. And she said to me, she goes, "How much?" She goes, "I was just quoted $2,700 and 6 sessions to get there." And I go, "No, it's not necessary." And she's not smoking today, right? So I'm very real. If you feel the need to come back to me, we can do that. But generally, you don't. Yeah. Generally, you're off and running on your own because you're going to have that belief in yourself.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm doing myself out of business, but yeah. I once had a lady who came to me and she says she was, what is she? Mediator. And she said, I used to do what you do. And I go, "Why did you stop?" She goes, "It was too successful. I always had to have new clients." And I go, "Yeah, that would be the negative side of this business, but it's also the positive side, right?" So, yeah.
Well, and I can only imagine people leave singing your praises, using the most powerful form of marketing, which is, I believe this changed my life. You need to call. Yeah.
I've had people who call it like a massage for their brain, which I think is a beautiful description. I love it. Such a good one.
That's great.
It's deep work.
As we're kind of nearing the end of our discussion, I'm curious. I always love to have listeners walk away with a tool they can start to use right now. And so I'm curious if you can offer up a small practical exercise or mindset shift from hypnotherapy that we could start to play with and experiment right now.
In terms of one sentence, I would say change your thoughts and you can change your life. Yeah. And that's in one sentence. I did prepare something. If you want to do a quick relaxation, short
Let's do
relaxation.
it.
Want
Please.
to do that?
Love
All right.
that. Yeah.
All right. So I am reading this. Just
Okay.
so you know. All right.
When we
So
publish it, I'll put some lovely music behind you.
Oh, okay. Fancy. All right. Here we go. I'd like to invite you to take a few moments just for yourself. If it's safe to do so, close your eyes and take a slow, easy breath in. And as you breathe out, let your shoulders soften and allow your whole body begin to unwind. With each breath, notice how your mind starts to quiet and how easy it feels to simply let go. You don't have to try. Your body and mind already know how to relax. You might imagine a soft wave of calm moving from the top of your head, down through your shoulders, through your chest and arms, and gently flowing all the way to your feet. You may even feel a tingling sensation in your toes. Each breath is helping you to release tension, self-doubt, and the weight of other people's expectations. As your body relaxes, your inner world becomes calm and clear. And in this calm, a quiet knowing begins to surface. The part of you that already knows your worth. The part of you that's strong, capable, and enough, just as you are. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to be anyone else. You are safe to trust yourself now, to believe in your own voice, your own power, your own peace. Take one more deep, comfortable breath in, and as you exhale, feel yourself grounded and calm, carrying that quiet confidence with you as you open your eyes and return to your day.
You do have a wonderful voice.
Thank you.
I love what you said in there. It struck me this, it's okay to trust yourself.
Yeah.
It's a powerful message, and how many ways we are conditioned to not trust ourselves with food, with alcohol, with people, with whatever it is. It's beautiful. Thank you. Melonie, thank you. This was so fun. And we will tell listeners how they could find you. And then we will also link all this into the show notes as well.
Okay. So I have a website, my name, Melonie Gore, Gore, meloniegore.com, where people can just click on the button for a free consultation.
Okay.
And we go from there. They can choose their own appointment times, and we start the process.
One click away, people.
Yep.
One click away.
Yep.
All right.
This is fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to Rewired, where neuroscience meets real life change. If you enjoyed today's conversation, I'd be so grateful if you take a moment to leave a 5-star review. Your feedback helps people discover the tools, insights, and inspirations they need to create lasting change. While you're leaving that 5-star review, please also subscribe and share an episode with a friend. Remember, the way you think shapes the way you live. Every intentional thought, every mindful choice rewires your brain and your life. So go live intentionally, live thoughtfully, and never underestimate the power of your own mind to transform your world. Until next time, this is Tiffany with Empower Coaching and Training. Stay curious, stay empowered, and keep rewiring for real change.
Every family has challenges, and every parent deserves support. At Empower Coaching and Training, youth and parenting coach Jasmine Chandler helps parents and young people find clarity, connection, and practical tools that make a difference. Visit yesempower.com to connect with Jasmine and explore our team of incredible coaches today.